Good evening everybody, welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA video. I'm going to be taking a look into XRP this evening. We can see here for XRP that you've got this level of resistance on the monthly time frame, of which XRP is currently under and needs to start breaking above. Okay, you can see we've had multiple points of contact where we've been meeting resistance on this trend line since April 2021, and you can see at this point here we've also come up to it and been rejected and are now coming back for support. So at the moment, I think on this time frame, for me, once you start breaking out of this level of resistance for XRP, that's a sort of confirmational signal that, you know, this is where the switch, and holding it as support, that this is where your low's in. Okay, but is that time now? I struggle to think that it is. And only reason being, well, there's a few reasons, to be honest. So first off, you've got this level of support here that was once resistance for XRP, where we was coiling up on this, on the weekly it would look a lot better, but you had this level of resistance and support. You was coiling up, you broke out, met the technical target, you ran back into this trend line as resistance. Okay, this trend line that you've been under since April last year, ran into that, and now you're coming back to support, looking to hold that. So what we need to see here for confirmation of XRP not having further downside is, if we zoom in a bit here, is this level of currently exactly where we are. In regards to candle closes, it would be healthy to see XRP close above 37 cents, I think it is. Yeah, so around 37 cents for XRP this month. We need to close above that, otherwise you are losing support of this ascending trend line. Okay, and you're sort of coming back. You've had the breakout, this could be a fake out, you're coming back into this pattern, and if you start to lose this ascending support here for XRP and closing below this is where it's going to be quite negative, and you will be looking to retrace back down to these lows that we've put in June. And potentially what this means for XRP is that you've had some sort of a wave 1, this is a wave 2, there was an A, B, C, which created this wave 3. You've got a wave 4 back into resistance of this long trend line that you've been in since April. And right now, if you do see XRP come down and lose its low, I do think you're looking at a final fifth impulsive wave to the downside. So where could that be? Well, how we could measure this if this potential play comes in. So bear in mind, guys, this is only if we start to see the monthly close below 37 cents, okay? Because we could potentially still have formed this low, broken out, met resistance, we're coming back for support. If we can hold this, start to coil up here and break out, you're still in some sort of ascending triangle, okay? If you can close within this ascending support, you're still coiling up, which is the bullish scenario, but I'll get into that a bit later on. But right now, I want to look at the downside target. So if we do start to close below 37 cents, for XRP, you could say that from this high, retracing to this low with a fib, that potentially straight away, if you start closing below 28 cents, you're looking at 23 on the 1272 right here, okay, which ties up with this sort of cluster of support that we previously had back in December 2020. Ultimately though, if we was to start to have one sort of last capitulative wave down, I do think we could come back to this area of around 19 cents, which for many years has been XRP's an area where, you know, you've come in and you've had a low basically when you're down at these sort of ranges. XRP has since, well, where was we, 2017, in fact been holding it as support. So could we be coming back down to that for a third time, and having some sort of like a triple bottom over a large scale of time. And this is where the lows in, you start working your way back up and tackling these all-time highs above. So these are my targets if we lose 37 cents. So if we start to close below 37 cents on the monthly at the end of this month, and we start retracing to this 1 fib, essentially if we do start retracing and losing this 1 fib, turn it to resistance, my first target would be 23 cents, and if that was lost, you would be looking and a close below that at some point, you'll be looking for the 19 cent in the long run for XRP, of which would be that final fifth wave down. Now the fifth wave is of an Elliott wave theory, so we had this wave 1, this wave 2, this wave 3, this wave 4, and wave 5, wherever this may be. The fifth wave tends to be, or if not shorter than the wave 1 of Elliott wave theory. So this was quite an impulsive wave down. So potentially if we was to see one of similar size, I think the 1618 would make sense. But you do start to deplete on the fifth wave, because the trend, the pattern of Elliott wave is coming towards an end when you're in this fifth wave. So it does start to deplete and slow down a little bit. But if we measure this from this high to this low for this wave 1, You know, that was 74%. So potentially from this wave 4 high, falling 74% would bring us down to a price of 14 cents, which ties up, to be fair, with these wick lows here. This is 17 cents where these closes was, but you've had this nasty wick down before, which was below 14 cents. So even coming down further than this 1618 wouldn't be surprising if we did have one final large corrective wave 5. But for me, ultimately, you do have levels of support. You've got this the 1272 at 23 cents and the 1618 at 19 if we start to lose this 28. Before this to happen, okay, we could have a shallower wave. As I said, wave 5 could be shallower than wave 1. So these targets are reasonable, okay, but I was just showing you the full extensive sort of compared to wave 1, where it's a 74% correction. If we was going through something similar now, you would be looking at 14 cents. But as I said, because it could be shorter, these are realistic targets for me moving forward if we do start to lose 28 cents. But for any of this to play out and for that to be a confirmation, we need to close below 37 cents on the monthly. So this month is very important. We need to see a close above, because if you do start to see a close above 37 cents, essentially you're still coiling up in some sort of ascending triangle on the larger scheme of things, okay, where you've had this low down here, okay, you coiled up, you broke out, you met resistance and the technical target from this coil up, okay, you broke out of a smaller ascending triangle, you met the target. All you're doing now is coming back for support. We have to hold 37 cents and start to bounce up here, at least holding this ascending trend line for us to see the breakout. So if XRP does hold this area, okay, or does have some sort of throwback back into this pattern where it comes down for support, that for me is your last leg. Because if we was to do something like that and start to coil up and break out here, if you once again start to attack this resistance line and do hold this ascending support, then it's looking very bullish for XRP. But again, we have to close above 37 cents, and right now we're currently sitting at 37.2. okay, the resistance or area of support we need to close above, should I say, is just 30, the high 37s. Okay, so we need to see a close above this price tag. We have to see a close above it this month. Otherwise we're in some sort of trouble and looking to retrace. Okay, but you do have this ascending support. You have coiled up, broke out, come back to it. You're looking to hold it. If you don't, the last leg is this ascending support here. If you start to come out and close below that and turn it to resistance, you are looking to retrace to these June lows. And if you do get this large fifth wave down, I've given you those technical targets for XRP moving forward. The 1272 and the 1618 we had on the previous Fibs would be my targets, and at that point you'd have your wave 1, your wave 2, your wave 3, your wave 4, and then your wave 5 back down to those lows, and both that potentially could be your bottom. Okay, but for any really big move here for XRP, for it to make any sort of really big move, there is a level of resistance it has to break out, okay, and it's this multi-month level of resistance. Wherever the lows are, if you do start to come down and close below this and form a lower low, okay, at this point, whenever you start to come out and come back and tackle through this resistance for XRP and hold that as support, this is where you're getting your go signal and your lows are in, and the markets are looking healthy again. It would be particularly bullish if we did come down and hold, say, I think it was 22 to 19 cents I was looking at. If we did come down to that area and sit at this sort of price, you've got this low, you've come up to a high, you could just be in this large corrective wave down to a higher low, and if you start to come up, then tackle this resistance and work your way towards this all-time high again. Not saying it will happen overnight, gradually over time, of course, but you've got a low, a high, a higher low. If you start to come out and tackle this high that we put in April 2021, it's not even the all-time high, but the last bull run high in April 2021, if you start tackling that, then you've got a higher high than this high, okay, and you're literally starting this bullish structure, and XRP has just come back for a large, massive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, looking for a huge breakout. Excuse me for how messy that is, but for me, the lows are closer than anything right now. If you do start to close below this, do look for that short, as I said, to those technical targets on the Fibs, especially if you close below this level of support we've been holding since June. That's your confirmation signal to go short. Hold this ascending support here of a potential ascending triangle. This is your options to go long, tackle this resistance, and this is the low already. Okay, so that's your two scenarios, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe. From Chartner TA, take care, peace out.